Hey guys, welcome to the Reluctant Chaplain Bible study. This is actually not part of our study in Romans. This is just kind of a quick one off here. It'll be a shorty, a relative shorty. I wanted to do this a few weeks ago, actually. It's something that came up in a conversation, and I felt I did a really miserable job of addressing it at that time. So after a couple failed attempts, I'm going to try again tonight. I actually scripted this one, so hopefully it comes out better. So, as most of you know, I've spent my entire adult life in the martial arts from age 18, coming up on like 42 years in the martial arts next month, I think is my anniversary. And as you can imagine, that was a huge part of my life, a huge part of my identity before I became a Christ follower. So I got a little bit of experience on what that can do to you. So the conversation occurred during a black belt test. A very dear friend of mine was gracious enough to invite me to sit on the panel. And I was sitting on the panel with another dear friend, and we were having a conversation about our old karate organization. Um, we both left that organization. So you can imagine how the conversation was going. We were discussing the politics of it, and the politics there are no different than they are anyplace else. People are just, are broken, and things are broken everywhere. And this particular organization has people that really like this is all they live for. Like this is where they get their identity. Everything they are is wrapped around in karate. And I had expressed that I felt that that was really tragic that you would lay up your identity and anything that could be taken away from you, anything that could be taken away from you so quickly and so easily, and then leave you with what? Leave you with nothing, right? Um, and my friend later on actually kind of quoted me on social media, and the message that he got was from that conversation was that they can take away your ranks and your promotions because that's what this organization was doing. They were demoting people and things like that. They can take away all that stuff, but they can't take away your accomplishments, your skill, your experiences, and all that. Which is a good and valid message, right? I've absolutely nothing wrong with that. But that wasn't the message I was trying to convey. The message I was trying to convey was something much, much bigger. And again, I did a really horrible job of expressing that. So let me try and encapsulate what I actually meant by that. So I think in its most base element, I want people to examine exactly what it is that they're living for. Um, and what purpose do you do what you do? What gives you your identity? In the case of these karate people, they live for being masters and grandmasters and being significant and important and walking around at tournaments and tests and things like that and having like this level of authority. Um, Kind of like little gods in their world, right? Small g, little gods. And I think it's really sad because like that's it. That's the biggest thing in their life. That's what they're living for, right? So what happens if they lose this? What happens if this goes away? And this is a question for everybody, right? What are you living for? Are you living for money? Are you living for trophies, belts, titles, accomplishments, adulation from others? Even more noble things like family, country, community. All these things are temporary and all of them can be lost. And then what, right? So everybody, and I mean everybody, serves somebody. Okay. Quoting from I'm sure only a few of you have actually heard of this, the Westminster Smaller Catechism. This is a piece of wisdom that was written in 1648, and the authors, their purpose was to make it a kind of a guide, a primer for people, new converts to the Christian faith, and also for children. It was an educational guide. And the very first article of that it starts with it's in a question answer format. And the question is, what is the chief end of man? And the answer is, man's chief end is to glorify God and to enjoy him forever. So that's who, as a Christian, I get my identity from. I'm not a karate guy, I mean, I love my role as a dad and as a husband and all of that as a firefighter, right? I That's all fun and it's all great, but all that can be lost in a heartbeat. What you get from being a son of the Most High, you can't lose ever, right? So I get my identity as a child of the one true God. You can't lose that. You can't lose it from poverty, sickness, persecution, death. Nothing can take that away from you. Serving and worshiping the things of this world are always going to leave you empty. You're never going to earn your way out. You're never going to promote your way out. You're never going to, uh, fight your way out. And just insert any other carnal issue here. It's futile. So serve something bigger, my friends, is the message here. Something eternal, right? Someone whose promises are forever. Being the broken and imperfect people we are, God the Father sent His Son, Christ Jesus, the Christ, to take on the penalties of sin through the Spirit of God, so we can hold on to those promises and have the assurance that no matter what happens here, we will spend eternity with Him forever. He has reconciled us with the Father, even through our brokenness. When you live for something bigger, you know, by bigger, I mean when you live for God, everything else just kind of gets better. I'm not going to say you're going to have an easy life. That's far from the truth. But that assurance that you have in being a follower of Christ, knowing that you're going to be with Him, no matter how hard it is here, no matter what kind of struggles and everything else that we go through, that will carry you through. That will carry you through losing your ability to kick, losing, God forbid, loved ones, things like that. That higher promise is where it's at. Anyway, that's the message I had wanted to convey that day. I did a miserable job on that. Hopefully this video will clear it up and hopefully it will bless somebody. That's it. I guess this counts as lesson 53. Yeah, well, it's not really a lesson, but you know what I mean. If you have questions, you know how to reach me, guys. Love you very much. Take care. Bye.